Hello friends, welcome to part 3. Okay, so in part 2, what I did was, I'll leave a link to part 2. I'll pin it in the comments if anybody wants to follow along and check that one out. Okay, so what we did in part 2 was, we put the tractor back together enough so we could start it up. I put the fan belt pulley on, and then we put the starter clutch on it, and then I put the chain on, blah blah blah. Okay, and what I did was I left the tow hitch off. Okay, but what I did was the two mounting bolts to mount the hitch up towards the differential there. One bolt goes into the left side differential, right side hitch has a bolt that goes in the right side differential. And I explained to you that this is a pretty thick hitch here. So when I put the bolt in there, I put the bolts in there so to avoid any leaks, but the bolts are really long. Okay, so I don't think the bolts were seated against the differential because they're too long. So what ended up happening was, the first time I left it outside and I covered it. I put the board under it because we were mostly concerned about the leak that was coming from back here. So after I pulled the tractor in here, I saw that there was no oil on the board here. But when I backed the tractor out on the left side here, there was a whole bunch of oil, big oil puddle here. Today it's looking like it's pretty dry. It's been about 24 hours because towards the end of the video I put the hitch back on. So we took up that space of the longer bolt. I'm not seeing anything right now. What I'm going to do now is I'll back the tractor out and we'll look on the floor really good here. So far, like I said, I don't see anything under there. It was a lot of oil right along here. So I'm thinking it was coming out of that bolt. Incidentally, the bottom differential bolt, that's what you would take out to drain the oil out. Okay, so I changed the oil in that last video. In the meantime, I didn't film it, but we put the correct hood on the 57 Gravely that we're going to be using. I did that. Today's mission is we're going to put the what I think to be the correct period hood on this, which is right here. So with that, we're going to have to change the battery tray here. We're going to have to put this battery tray on. This way we can bolt the hood to this. It's a 3/8 rod. Somebody welded this rod on there. This hood came off. Whoever didn't see part 2 or part 1, this hood was on the 57 Gravely. Which it is not period correct for the 57 Gravely, but it is for this, because this tractor that we're working on here is a super convertible. So I'm going to back the tractor out and we're going to take a look at the floor here. Like I said, I don't see any oil so far, so I think we're okay with the oil leak. We did fix what I think could have been leaking oil too. It has a 2-piece crankcase cover because we changed the engine, and there's a stud with a washer and a nut that was very loose. I know I didn't loosen it because the engine mount bolts are, around here, and then there's one that comes in from the front, and I had no business going near that or touching that, and I tightened that up really well. We cleaned everything up. It looked like the fan was blowing oil towards the front part of the top end, and we cleaned all that up. I'm not saying that the oil leak is completely gone. Right now, there's no leak. I let the tractor run for, I don't know, 40-minute intervals to warm the oil up real good. We never saw a leak, except for, like I said, after we didn't put the tow hitch on, it leaked out of that bolt hole, I would say. And, alright, so let me get set up outside, and I'll probably have to drop the plow off it. I'll show you exactly what we have to do, and we'll get the hood mounted back on this. Okay, so we'll begin by pulling the plow off. With this one, I never put a nut and a bolt in the main thing here. It just has a pin in it. So we just pull this thing apart here. Use the pin. And then we'll pull the plow mount off. A lot of you guys that have these Graveleys, you probably already know that when you go to put the plow on, always bolt the mount on first, then put the plow on. Easiest way. I'll show you why we're pulling the mount off. I'm sorry if the compressor kicks on. Four bolts that hold the mount on, and I'm using a 3/4 inch socket. Oh boy. I think you're in view somewhat. Closer. Next we'll pull the battery off. So whatever's leaking, it's most likely the top end. I don't know. I don't see any leaks so far. So kind of hard to see already because the sun's kind of in the way here. I think you're in view. Okay, so we have to take the PTO lever, nut and bolt out in the spacer. This way we can gain access to the front bolt that holds the plate on, one of the bolts anyway. So I think I put a R-clip on this. We'll get Alright, that's out of the way. Put this in a safe place. Alright, so we're using a 1/2 inch socket on this. I got a spring on this thing because I'm having trouble. I was having trouble with this PTO here. It doesn't want to stay engaged. Probably shipper shaft is probably no good. I don't know. That's one of the many problems that we've had with this tractor here. So the heck. Okay, we got that. I think I double nutted it for some odd reason. I don't know why. Everything always has to be a pain on camera. Every single time. Alright, we got it. So watch me, I'll lose the spacer here. Okay, so we got that out of the way. I like to fix this stripper shaft the right way here, but I don't have one for it. So this spring will forever be in the way here. Oh boy, how did I put this spring in here? That's off. I don't even know what this spring does. Probably nothing. Okay, so next we'll take off the handlebar bolts. The handlebar bolts go through the handlebar and into this what do you call it, battery tray. That's going to be a 9/16. Okay, so I noticed on the last segment, right towards the end, you were out of frame because I must have bumped the tripod, and the sun glare was horrible. But what I did was, I placed the battery tray on here. I got the two bolts in the front, started it. I screwed them in, but I didn't tighten them all the way up. And then the handlebar bolts to go through the handlebar and the battery tray. This one was pretty easy to get in. The other one I had a lot of trouble. Sometimes if you loosen the, which is a pain to do, and I didn't do it, is to loosen the top portion bolts of the handle up towards the exhaust and the carburetor. You probably know what I'm talking about. Wouldn't make it easier, but I had a real hard trouble with it. This battery tray has extra brackets under here to support the handle. I guess it tries to help it. I don't know. And that's what really gave me the problems. Most of these tractors don't have this other support down here, and So what we're going to do now is I got the bolts started. We're going to tighten up the handlebar bolts. From now, first we'll tighten these two front bolts that go in. We'll tighten those first. And then I'll tighten up the handlebar bolts. And then I'm going to hook up the PTO lever again. And I like to know what's going on with it. It seems pretty good. I took the channel lock pliers and I was twisting it. It was locked in on the off position, and it was locked in on the in position. Now this tractor had a problem once with it was vibrating a lot. That turned out to be a carburetor adjustment. I don't know if the tractor was vibrating so bad that it was knocking the PTO out of gear. Not really sure, but that spring that I hooked up, I'm not going to put that back on. We won't use air either now because that compressor kicking on is a real distraction also. Okay, so those were half-inch bolts. And now I'm going to use the 9/16 socket to tighten up the handlebar bolts. This one here was a real problem to get it started. But I got it, finally. This tractor probably still has demons. That's what I'm figuring. It's been like this the whole 3 years I've had it. Never, like I said in part one, this tractor's never had a happy moment, ever. Since I've had it. That's good. Alright, let's put the PTO lever on it. Now I'm going to hook up the PTO rod. See how it feels. I think I got it. Finally. Nope, didn't get it. Alright, I'll be right back. This is just, I don't know. Okay, so of course I got it started in 2 seconds after I shut the camera off. Why I double nutted that nut and bolt in there, I don't know, but we'll do that again, I guess. To save some more grief, I hooked up the PTO lever too in the meantime. I'm going to try to do this without walking around the other side and getting your wet. I'm going to try. that's tight. I don't think we're using that other nut. I don't know why I had 2 nuts on there. I have no idea why I did that. See, it seems locked. It doesn't lock on the off position. I don't care about that. It's locked now. So the shipper shaft must be shot. Must be. I put this other bracket on here, so when I have it on, I don't know if you can see that. I had this, I don't know what it was off of, but if I loosen this and then I engage the PTO, I can lock it against this bracket here and it won't pop out of here. Yeah, so I don't know what the story with that is. I don't know why. I think the shipper shaft must be shot. We'll put the plow mount back on now. And then off camera, I'll stick the battery back on it and I'll stick the plow on it. And we'll put the hood. I'll put the hood on it. I'm going to have to align the hood. We'll see how it looks. I'm sorry, this video is not too exciting, but I just want to get this tractor done and I figured I'd film it. This, the top 2 bolts here, instead of bolts, it has studs with washers and nuts. That's to help you line up the attachment. I hook up the attachments with just the 4 bolts. I never have a problem. They're pretty easy to hook up anyway. And then our bottom has 2 nuts. Now we're back to the 3/4 inch socket for that. Come April 1st, I'm going to pull the dual wheels off it, like I said in part 2. And then I'll just put the outer tires on the inside without the spacers. And we'll put the mower deck on it, and then we'll just try it in the little field to cut grass and see if there's any oil leak. Yeah, you don't need to see me put a battery on. The holes are already in here for the J hooks, because I drilled the holes out when when this battery tray was on the 57. I already did that. And alright, so let me do that, and then I'll put the hood and the plow back on too, and we'll see how it looks with the hood. The patina of the hood is perfect for this tractor. This tractor is not getting any restoration or anything. It's just going to be left as is, and that's it for that. I mean, most of the tractors that I've gotten were just so rusted out and look so awful. That's why I did the restorations. Plus the ones I'm keeping, I like to do the restorations. The ones I'm selling, like the other 57 Gravely you guys saw, whoever follows the channel, that's not in that bad a shape, you know, as far as like real rusty or anything like that. So I'll be back to you as soon as I get the hood on. We'll see how it looks. So it doesn't look bad. Like I said, the hood, the patina on the hood matches the rest of the tractor. It's pretty good. I wish I didn't paint the air cleaner. I should have left that alone. I might have another one for it, just not paint it. But because when I had the other hood on it, when I got the tractor originally, it had gray primer on it. So we painted it orange. And we put the decals on it. Not these decals. I just put a Gravely tractor decal. And the two, we call Gravely Man stickers on the side. One on each side. The only problem I had here was the J-hook here. The hole is over here. This has the tall breather on it. So I had to drill another hole out over here for the battery mount. Not a big deal. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'll probably film it. I'm going to take it around the yard a couple of laps just to see how it looks like on film. And then we'll close the video. In the meantime, I'm going to start it up and just let it run while I clean up the mess I got over there. I'll clean up everything there and then I'll take it for a ride. So that's how I'll close the video. I'll just do a couple of laps. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry it wasn't that exciting of a video, but I figure I'd bring you along. This had to be done and get done, and it's done. And we'll see how it makes out the oil leak. Probably won't snow anymore. I highly doubt that. I'll probably end up putting the brush hog mower deck on it. And like I said, I'll pull the dual wheels off and the spacers, and I'll just put these outer tires in on the inside, inboard. And then we'll try it out in the little field. And that's it. Alright, so thanks for watching. I kind of hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all on the next one, and take care. Thanks for watching.